All right, gang, welcome back to our Farm Maze Challenge on Riverbend Springs. It is now April. We don't normally do this, at least I don't normally do this. There's not really a specific reason why I do it. It's just how I typically try to run my different challenges in my series. But I think for this one, we're going to fertilize this farm maze really quickly, the field here real quick. And then we're going to jump on to May. Typically, I just do 1 month per episode, right? But I think for this specific instance, we're just going to do that. I don't have anything else to do today but this. We could do maybe some more potential contracts, but let's just jump to the next month, and that way we can harvest our sunflower field behind us, hopefully sell it for a decent price today, or, well, I guess not today, in May. Hopefully sell it for a decent price then. And then, hopefully, re-drill it, and maybe we'll have enough money to buy a new plot of land somewhere. I don't really think we will, but you never know. Maybe we find something that's relatively decent priced that will allow us to actually be able to utilize it for some more profit. We'll have to take a look at it. But in the last episode, as you recall, we kind of left off with that big, massive field over there, that big contract. I did finish that. Obviously, it's all weeded up now. Whoever owns it obviously didn't re-drill it fast enough. But we did finish that. We got a decent amount of money out of it, as you can see. $54,945 to be exact. And, well, that's after a little bit of loan loss and everything else we had to pay overnight. But still, it's a decent amount. It looks like there is a little bit here that was either missed or there was some rain or hail damage or something that occurred overnight that I don't recall. So I guess that happened overnight and I didn't see it. But anyway, a little bit of a loss to our crop here in the maze, but that's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. But how's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. All that good stuff. Not going too bad here. So I would like to start getting back in the swing of having a schedule on the channel here. We really haven't done a schedule for a little while, and I'd like to get back in that groove. So I've kind of been working on a schedule. I'm not sure exactly when it will start, but when it does, I'll let you know, as I have been doing. I've been kind of working on, some little mock-up images to kind of show it to you, but I also put it in text form if that's easier for you. But I'm going to kind of start working to get that back in the groove here. And hopefully with the holiday here, maybe depending on how much time, I spend with my grandma and how much time I spend with family, which would probably be a lot given the circumstances that some of you know. Whatever time I am not with her and with them, I probably will be doing as many videos as I can. So hopefully we can get back into a groove of a schedule here. That's been my biggest problem, is that work's been really busy leading up to the holiday season. It always is. So I've been working a lot more hours than I normally do, so I haven't had as much time in the day. So I do apologize to those of you who, are members and maybe used to having a few videos out there ahead of time for you to watch before they're scheduled to release. But I will get back in the groove. It will come back, I promise. And this week should be the start of that. So our sunflowers should be ready to harvest now today, though. So let's, well, if I can jump in the right piece of equipment, let's do that first of all. And we can get harvested on this field and make a little bit of money. I don't know if sunflowers are best to sell right now, though. That is one thing I do not know. I should look at that. We got to scroll all the way down the bottom. What I wish they could do, and maybe I already said this, I forget, but I wish there was a way to even, I don't know, like favorite some of these prices, right? And they would move to like the top of the list. So then I have easy access to it. So if I'm only doing, 6, 7, 8 different things, similar to like what this series right now, right? We're just doing corn, sunflowers, and a few other. I could favorite those and like jump them to the top, so I don't have to sit here and scroll all the way down to the bottom just to find the prices. Yeah, it's not great. It's not terrible, but it's really not as good as it needs to be. So we need to get this harvested because the price is dropping. And I really don't want it to drop anymore because we want to try to get as much money out of this as we can. Now we're going to put something back in here today. We will harvest this and re-drill it today. It's not a very big field, so it will not take us long to do this. As far as what we're going to put back in here, I really haven't decided that yet. I'm going to have to think about it, I think, a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to put back in here yet. It may just be sunflowers again. Maybe it's corn. Maybe it's soybeans. Who knows? I've got to kind of think about that and figure out what I want to do there. But nonetheless, we are moving along here. Now, this field did have a little bit, I think it's over there. There was a little bit of damage here from some hail. That one time we got into some hail, that heavy hail. A couple episodes back, if you recall. And we're going to have a little bit of a loss of our crop because of that. And unfortunately, we're not going to get as much out of this field as we otherwise typically would. But that's the things we have to deal with, right? We've got weather events on, so they're actually on in every series. I don't know if you guys are watching cross series or not, if you're only watching a specific series or whatever, but I did see a comment recently from somebody saying that, am I against doing GPS? I'm not. I obviously was doing some in the last episode, but I like harvesting myself, so a lot of the times I'm going to be doing the harvest, right? A lot of the times I'm going to put a time lapse in of me doing the harvest. Versus there's some of that damage I was talking about. You can see it plain as day right there. So there's going to be, you know, sometimes where I'm just doing a time lapse of me harvesting because I enjoy doing that. But when we get a little bit bigger, and we are going to get bigger, and we have a lot more jobs to accomplish in a month, that is when we will really start utilizing that GPS to a heavier extent. But early on, man, it's new game. I just want to enjoy it. I want to, you know, harvest. I want to, whatever it is I'm doing, I want to do it myself. I enjoy doing it. So. And I replied to you already in the comments, but I just, you know, wanted to reiterate that. It was actually in the Triple Threat Challenge series. I've been a little bit slow, like I said, of getting some videos done ahead of time due to work specifically. Being as busy as it has been, and one of my employees has been off for like 3 weeks, so I've been pretty busy lately. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're on a farming channel. We're not talking about work, but I just like to be, you know, straight up and honest with you, as I've always told you, about what's going on in my life, and whenever I have something that's kind of keeping me from being able to do these, I want to make sure I'm straight up and honest with you about why. Because I do love doing this. I love interacting with you in the comments and all that good stuff. So I try to get them out as fast as I can. It just sometimes it's not meant to be. But with the holiday season approaching, I still will be busy. I'm always busy. For those of you that haven't been around the channel for a while and are relatively new, welcome, first of all. But second of all, my job is a pretty demanding job. I'm a project manager for a very small software company. I'm actually a manager of project managers for this very small software company. It's basically banking. I've been in banking pretty much my whole life. So, if that tells you anything. But I'm always on call, basically, is what I'm trying to get at. So, a client could call me right now while I'm doing this video, and I would have to stop and join whatever the call is for whatever the emergency is. So, there's always a heavy push leading up to the holiday season because everybody typically has some kind of a freeze period, right? Where you're not allowed to deploy or install anything. So there's always a pretty heavy push, so that this I guess the month of November, pretty much leading up to Thanksgiving, it's pretty hectic. So anyway, enough about that. Just trying not to make sure I kill this crop. Like I killed a little bit of the sunflowers, if you recall. I was paying attention to the corn stuff and wasn't really watching where I was going last time. So I just killed a little bit of sunflowers right there, but it's not too much. It's not bad. Just one little tire worth. So let's carry on getting this done here, gang. It won't take long. This will be a really short time lapse here. Minute, probably less, maybe a minute and a half. depending on how fast I have the time maps going. But let's get this done. It won't take long. And we'll see what kind of money we get out of this, yeah? All right, field's done. We're almost done here unloading as well into the trailer here, or the truck, I should say. We can go ahead and put this away. We can fold everything up here. Maybe. There it goes. Wasn't folding up for some reason for a second. So we're going to go sell this right now. We're probably just going to sell it right here near our land here at the farmer's market, because why not? 80,000%, or 80,000, 80,000, 80,000, 80% of sunflowers are in there. The price at the farmer's market is $1,993, which really isn't bad. It's not the best, but I mean, it's so close that it really doesn't even make a difference. Considering how close this is, it's actually going to save us money on gas, wear and tear, all that good stuff, right? So we'll take it. So this should get us to 60 grand. But probably not much more. All right, 66,000. A little bit better than I expected. So 12 grand out of that little field. That's pretty good, I think. I think that's pretty good. All right, so we're at $66,000 now. There are some other things that we need to buy. We still haven't put down a barn, even though we talked about doing that. There's a lot of things really on the farm we could utilize with this money. But before we do any of that, and before we even re-drill that field, is there a field on the map that we can buy? That one's 71. That would be a perfect one to have, but it does have... Is that sugar beets? Is that sugar beets? Yeah, sugar beets. It does have sugar beets in it, which we really don't want to harvest sugar beets. So that one's probably out. That one's too expensive as well. Can I please pick the farm? Thank you. The reason why I was saying maybe this one has a few trees, not many, but it has a few trees. 72,000. These are all grass fields, so it's not really what we want. 72,000 again. It's looking like a solid no here, gang. It looks like we're still not quite where we need to be at. Price-wise. So that one's 59, but that one is on the clear other end of the map. I don't necessarily know if we want to go that far. These are too expensive. Way too expensive. Very, very much so. We could buy that one. It is kind of far away. It's just not quite... I would like to be... I mean, this isn't that far away from this one, I guess. But I think I'd still like to be kind of in this little quadrant here. And while that's only just slightly outside of it... What about the used market? Anything out here? Well, there's a harvester out here, which... we don't need. There's a Skoda out here. They got the Skodas now? They got Skodas in the game? I didn't even know they put Skodas in the game. Okay. All right. Yeah, nothing really out here for us either, except for maybe this auger. bin trailer. But still, we're not going to spend the money on that. A sprayer, a roller, we need to put line down, all that stuff potentially we could get. Where are the rollers at? Where are the rollers? Here they are. Oh, we are not getting a roller. Screw the rolling. I'm not paying that kind of money for a roller. At least not at this point in this stage of the challenge here. There is no way I'm getting that. No way at all. These are outrageously priced too, but right so far we haven't really needed it. The hoe or the weeder what we have right there has been doing an okay job. So we'll hold off on that until we see if it gets to a point where we actually do need it. But right now it doesn't seem like we do. So let's hop right in here and start drilling, at least for now, while I kind of have a mental think about what I want to do with the $66,000. Ideally, you know, we don't even really need this front thing here. I can't sell it, though, in this series. Remember, I'm not allowed to sell any piece of equipment that I've purchased in this series. And while technically we started with it, but we did purchase it, so it's not allowed to be sold. I can put this in the maze, though. Remember, I said that. I said I was going to do a lot of putting some of this stuff in the maze. Once we decide to upgrade stuff, we'll just kind of move it over into the maze, because the farm maze around my house that we do for work, it's like a work bonding thing, or whatever you want to call it, a team outing, whatever you want to call it. Whenever we do that, which we do it every year, they've got, you know, old tractors and stuff in the middle of the maze. It's kind of cool. So I'm kind of trying to mimic my maze design here, even though the actual maze itself was already pre-designed, but I'm trying to mimic the stuff that's in the maze after the one that I'm used to. Whether that's how the rest of them in the world are, or in the United States are, or wherever, that's neither here nor there to be seen, but I'm just doing it off of my experience with the corn maze, and that's really the only experience I've ever had with the corn maze, is the one we do. I'd never have done a corn maze until then. Now, I think I talked about this already, but I'm gonna bring it up quickly again. I don't know if there's a way, maybe there will be, if we can buy bales of hay in this one. I think it would be fun for me to attempt to do a hay bale maze as well. Now, you might be asking, well, how the hell, what is a hay bale maze? And if you've watched since the beginning, I know I at least briefly talked about this when we talked about the maze here. So the maze we go to, it has a corn maze, right? Your typical corn maze, exactly as you would expect it to be. Little mailboxes you got to find, you know, and then you put together the maze, and then you can get out, whatever. They have a hay bale maze. Now, the hay bale maze I actually enjoy more than the corn maze. Not that I dislike the corn maze. I do like it. But I like this hay bale maze even more because it makes you use your brain. So the way that it works is it's a legitimate maze that you could easily do if you were able to go left and right. But you're not allowed to do that. When you go through this hay bale maze, you can only go right the entire time. You can only turn right, and you have to figure out a way to get out by turning right. It's a lot more difficult than it may seem. Maybe next time, and you guys are going to have to remind me when it gets to be, you know, October again next year, 2025. You have to remind me, but maybe I can try to get a picture of this hay bale maze that I'm talking about and show you what I mean. But if they're in here, I haven't even looked, but I will look here in a second. If the hay bales are in here and you can buy them and I can just place them down anywhere, maybe we'll try to make our own. But if not, maybe eventually there'll be something that will come out on ModHub that will allow me to do something like that. I think that would be fun to do over there, right? Kind of in the entrance, because it doesn't need to be very big. It really doesn't. It's really fun. It really is. And I'm not to brag or anything, but I'm going to brag for a little bit. I'm going to chirp myself here for a minute. Of the 5 years I've been going, I'm the only one. Well, I'm not the only one, but every year I'm the first one to figure it out. A little bit of a brag on myself there. I'm sorry. Bear with. I apologize. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be bragging about myself, but I like that kind of stuff. I like using my brain to figure out puzzles and things like that. And that's pretty much what it is. It's a puzzle. Anyway, I feel like I got on a little bit of a rant there. I do that a lot. So those of you that are new here and aren't used to me, that eventually, every once in a while, I just start going on rants, regardless if it's about farming or not, and sometimes I Really don't mean to, but I do, and I apologize for it. It is what it is, man. I'm just, I got things that are running in my brain, and I just decided to talk about them. So we're putting corn in here, by the way. I said I wasn't sure what we were going to put in here. Well, we're putting corn in because I didn't turn the corn off. So we're putting corn in. Whoops. Oh, well. Could be worse. It could be worse. At least we can harvest the corn, right? Now, one of you, and I'm sorry, I should have looked up the name before I started this video. I apologize. But you correctly pointed out the reason why I was getting a little confused with the GPS. So the way that it works is if you're doing harvesting, they do it the way I would expect, right? They're going to do the headland passes, then go into the inside. But if they're drilling, they're going to do the inside first and then do the outside after that to basically, you know, remove or fix the tire marks, right? The depression of the tire marks. You can see all those tire marks in there. It removes all of that. It makes a lot of sense. I didn't, for some reason, didn't put that together. But there you go. So if you didn't know, now you know. But we're not that concerned about it. We're just gonna drive all over it and we'll let it be. Nothing I can do about it now anyway. So while that's happening, let me see if I can. I don't even know where they would be at. Animals, maybe? Is there an animal section? I haven't even looked that up yet. Animals. Food. Nope. Oh, there's bales. Here we go. Yeah, we could probably do it. Let me see if I have to. Do I have to? Yeah, you gotta buy them from the store. Okay, so I'd have to get them from the store and bring them back here. But that's fine. That's not a big deal. That, or eventually we put in some kind of wheat or, you know, barley or oat or whatever, and we actually just produce our own straw. Like, we could do that too, right? But that, I think, is something we're going to add as a bonus objective to the series. Not what I had initially planned on doing, but that just kind of came to me now. So we're going to do that. Remind me of that. Make sure that I do it in case we get along in this series and I kind of forget about it for some reason. Make sure you call me out in the comments. But we're going to do it. So if I'm getting ready to be like, oh, we're getting ready to end the series or something like that, or because I normally tell you that, you know, I normally say, hey, we only have a few more episodes left in the series, we're going to move on to something else. Make sure you keep me honest. Say, you see, you said you were going to do a hay bale maze and you didn't do it. I think I'll remember to do it, though. I enjoy that hay bale maze so much that I think I'll remember to do it. Regardless if it's soon or at the end of the series, I think I'll remember to do it. And even though I'll know how to do it, we'll try to do that one as well, right? We'll just, I'll kind of give you how it works, right? What I might end up doing, I don't know if I'll be able to find it online or not. I don't really remember it. I was going to say, but if I could find like a picture of it from the maze around us, if I can find a picture on the website of that maze, of the hay bale maze, maybe they have a picture of it up there on the website that maybe I could, you know, grab that and then try to just recreate that exact same maze. Oh, that's an idea. Huh. Well, I'm gonna have to think about that, because if I can figure that out relatively quickly, we might pivot and try to do that sooner than later, before it's probably, you know, removed for the season, right? Well, it probably already is removed for the season, but I might still be able to find like a cached version of it. Well, there's an idea, gang. We just found an idea for ourselves. Okay, well, we'll see. I'm going to carry on here. I won't do a time-lapse. We did one already, but maybe we'll do one here in a little bit. If needed, potentially, for maybe a contract or something if we decide to do that. But let me get a little bit further along here, getting this done. It shouldn't take too much longer. We're not far off from completing this. It's such a small field. It won't take much longer. All right, we're nearly done here, gang. Just a few more passes here, and we're complete. I think the next time we drill, I'm going to attempt to do it the proper way here. Go in the middle and then do some headland passes after that. I think I'm going to attempt it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to be successful at it or do it as good as the GPS, computer would do it, but I'm going to give it a shot. It might not be this series, whenever the next time we drill something, regardless of what the series is, I think I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm just so used to doing it this way, because that's how I did in FS22. Because obviously there wasn't the, what do you call it? I keep calling it like the depressing of the ground from the tires, but that's not really what it's called. I'm blanking on the name. Whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I think I've got the image close enough that you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's drop this off here. And we'll put this over here. So I think what I've decided to do here, gang, is we're going to put down a shed finally. We haven't done a shed yet. We're going to do a shed finally. I need to really kind of decide where I want to put this shed. Now, there are sections. I know some of you have mentioned in the comments, and some of you know, and some of you don't, and this either way is fine, but I just want to kind of show you. There are certain areas on the farm, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's just an issue, where it says this, area is restricted. Well, right? So it won't allow you to put something there when an area is restricted or overlaps another object, even though there's no objects there. I hope that they come in and fix that, but I guess there's no guarantee that that's going to happen. So we're just going to have to, deal with it. Is what it is. So we're just going to do an open air one here. I'll probably end up utilizing these sheds for quite a while here because that's really the only ones that I have access to that's reasonably priced for me. A lot of this is not reasonably priced, I guess is what I should get at. Man, it just doesn't feel like that's straight, is it? I guess it is, but it just maybe it doesn't look like it because of the ground. I don't know. Just something doesn't look right. Like that looks better to me. Well, we're gonna go with it. Whatever. Okay, our first shed's in. I'm fine with where it's at. I like it over here. It's kind of out of the way. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with this here. This is good. This is good. Now, the harvester itself probably is not going to fit in there, but everything else for the most part should fit in there. The headers probably won't fit in there either, but I mean, there's a chance, I guess, but let's see. Let's just see. There's no way. I can tell you right here, there's no way. It'll go partially in, but it's not. There's no way because it slants backwards. So there's no way. So the harvesters are still going to have to stay outside, unfortunately, but we're going to try to pull it in anyway because I'm a lunatic. Sorry, getting hit the microphone. Yep. Almost. Nearly would it would nearly fit in there, but yeah, not quite. Not quite. So we'll just pull this thing up right here to the side. I'm going to leave the other header over there for right now. It'll be fine for now. So let's back everything up into here. I need to fold this up. I didn't even fold this up when I put it away. You dummy Z, what are you doing? Time to start working on, building up the farm here a little more. I think we're also going to do a little bit more work in the maze itself. Whether that's starting the fence work or putting something else in the middle of the maze. Obviously, I can't put the equipment in there now. I'll kill some of the crop, and I don't want to do that. But there are other things we can put in there, right? We can buy some decoration-like things to stick in there. Moving this stuff out of this area will be nice too, because we can see if there's anything in that area that can actually be utilized for, a shed or something like this, right? Okay. just the fertilizer spreader here, and I mean, I might as well put the seed thing in there too, I guess. Now, I'd like to get a silo soon. The prices we've been selling stuff at have not been terrible, so I'm not, you know, I'm not that concerned, I guess, but I would like to get a silo just to start storing and saving some of this crop until it's the best time to sell it so we can actually make some more money. But really, I think we need to figure out a way to get another plot of land. Specifically, we need one that has wood on it, because I want to start working on that construction over there, right? I want to start working on that shed, because that's another part of, you know, building the maze up, fixing the maze, right? So I want to set this over here on the side over here. I don't think it really needs to be under anything. Okay. So I'm going to back this in here, even though we technically don't need to put this in the shed. I'm going to put it in here anyway. Turn the tractor off there, Z. Come on, buddy. All right, now this one, it can stay outside, no problem. I think I'm just going to put it over on the other side over here by the seed extension here, up against this wall. I think that's a good spot for it. I don't think it's technically our land, but nobody's really going to say anything. Nobody uses it, so. All right, so everything's over here except for that header, which we can move over at another time, but one last thing I wanted to look at, like I told you, is to see if there was anywhere on here. Yeah, it will let us put something in here, so that's good. Now, it won't let us do it everywhere, but it will let us put it in certain specific spots here, so good. We can at least put another, probably bigger barn or something in here, maybe. Yeah, like something like that, potentially, but we'll wait on that. We'll wait and see. Now, we need, what's it under? I think it's here. Yeah, others. Okay. So this is kind of what we're looking for here. Is there anything else we could stick in the maze? Not really. Not really. I'm not seeing a whole lot of anything here, as a matter of fact. The only thing I could say is more of these, but I don't want to overdo it. You know what I mean? We've already got that one over there, so this would have to be somewhere over here. And there's not really anywhere, at least not right now, to put this over here. So yeah, I guess nothing there. So the only other thing we can really do is do some fence work here around the maze. Now, the biggest problem we're going to have here, there's some more area that wasn't drilled for some reason. The biggest problem we're going to have here is trying to keep this straight if we don't do a whole entire length. Maybe what I'm saying makes sense, maybe it doesn't make sense, I don't know. But what I'm trying to get at is, if I do, just as an example, I'm just literally doing this only as an example. If I go here, all right, and we drag this down here, but let's say I stopped it here, trying to start from there to bring it all the way back down here would be not really the most ideal. And the fact that we're only getting certain frames per second isn't really making me very happy either. So I'm going to have to kind of, I think, play with this a little more, because it's very finicky on the locations too. I want it to be relatively close, but it needs to be, you know, enough where it's not unrealistic. Like something like that actually looks not that bad. $8 grand is not bad. Toggle snapping on. It will, if we do this though, it will make it very difficult to harvest this. As you recall, well, those of you who've been around since the beginning, if you recall, when I did some fence work on the 200 horsepower challenge, I made it a little bit too close and it was very difficult to harvest. So I'm kind of second guessing putting that down right now. I'm thinking the fence might be the last thing we do. Yeah, Yeah, the fence is going to be the last thing we do. We're going to wait on the fence. We will wait. So, having that said, knowing that, I should say, let's, actually, you know what we could do? We could put some bees down. I didn't really think about that. We could also get a dog. I feel like having a, like the one we have, they have a dog. So I feel like having a dog would be something that, you know, you would see. But the thing is, I don't necessarily know if I want to put the dog down because I might have to move the dog from where his house is, because this is our house for now, but it's kind of like a temporary thing. I don't really think I'm going to keep the house there. I think the house is going to end up being over here somewhere, probably. I mean, maybe even over here. Who knows? But it's going to be somewhere else. If the house is here, then the hay bale maze will be over here. If the house is over there, the hay bale maze will probably be somewhere in here. Because we've decided this is going to be our exit, I think, for the most part. That one or over here. One of these two are going to be the exits. Yeah, I guess I need to think about it a little bit more, gang. So that was a long-winded ending there, but we're going to leave the episode at that point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. There are more videos in the corner for you to check out if you're interested. Make sure you check out my other channel if you haven't done so. And, yeah, until the next time, I'll see each and every single one of you in the next episode.